I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Deep down the rabbit hole we go. Who will Jarvis Butts tell on? But before we get started with this demonstration, let me get my Facebook family and friends over to this demonstration. Bear with me for a minute, everybody. Salute to the replay gang. Salute to the chat. Salute to all of my moderators. Let me get my copyright disclaimer out of the way as well. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Now, we're going to go deep down the rabbit hole. A lot of new information has been revealed to us. We got a lot of food on the table to pick from. We got a lot of food on the table to eat. And we have some good food as well. Let me salute real quick. All right. Who we got down here? Salute Leslie. Salute Darlindria. Top Flight. Marie. Shai. Tudor. Yvette. Shai. Angelique. Salute to the chat. Thankful. Salute. And if you would like to support the channel, there's different ways you can support the channel. If you would like to send a cash donation, my cash app is $ERICMCINT. If you would like to purchase a membership to the channel, a super sticker, or a super chat, click on the $ symbol and it will allow you to purchase a membership, super sticker, or super chat. Salute, Miss Lottie. Salute. I see you, Positive Vibes. Brother Nazir. Talk with Prince. PJ. Salute everybody. All right, let's Lady B. I see you, Lady B. Now, the majority of us in the Nazaria Harris case, we feel like Jarvis is being used as a pawn. We feel like Jarvis is the scapegoat, right? Many believe that Shannon is behind Nazaria's disappearance as well as her death. Many believe that Miss Annette is covering things up for Shannon. Many people believe Jarvis is covering for Shannon. We all agree that Jarvis is a monster. We all agree that he's a monster. And we all agreed that sexually Jarvis took advantage of Nazaria Harris. All right. Now, not only do we have Miss Annette and Shannon in the mix, we also have King. Many of us always felt as though King played a part in it as well. But in the last few weeks, we found out that the owner, Frank, of the shop, of the garage where Jarvis and King works at, we found out some interesting things about Frank. And don't worry, I'll go over the things that we found out about Frank. Now, Frank is in the equation, in the mix. Not only is Shannon, Miss Annette, Frank, and King, P. Diddy, yes, Baby Oil Man. Now, I don't believe that Baby Oil Man participated in any of what went on with Naziah, but the prosecutor of Naziah's case, Kim Worthy, has been linked to Baby Oil Man's case with Dirk Cardella, I believe Cardello. But the Michigan guy that claimed, the guy that's incarcerated in Michigan, that claimed that P. Diddy sexually assaulted him. So the rabbit hole goes real deep. So put on your seatbelts, get some popcorn, get some wine, some liquor, get some smoke, whatever it is, because we're going to be here for a minute and we're going down this rabbit hole. Drop a one if you feel like Jarvis did all of this on his own. Where are all the people that feel like Jarvis did all of this on his own? Drop a one. Drop a one. Drop a two if you feel like this is bigger than Jarvis. I'm going to drop a two because I believe that this is way bigger than Jarvis. Pensy says, I went to Kimani's walkthrough today. And let's throw up some prayer hands. Let's throw up for some prayer hands for both our angels, Naziah Harris, as well as Kimani Lateef. I seen just a brief part of Kimani's memorial, and I couldn't take it. You know, I seen where they had Kimani's desk. They had her desk beside the casket and everything. Her classmates, one of her classmates spoke out. I couldn't take it, you know. But may her soul rest in peace. So young, and for her to have to experience such a tragic death at the hands of someone that she looked up to, her father. You know, Kimani spoke highly of her father, and to have her father take her life from her in the manner that he did is such a tragedy. Now with Jarvis, Victoria says that's exactly why the case is all over the place, because it's a cover-up for bigger players going on. Yes, yes, yes. Because everybody failed Naziah. Let's backtrack. Let's backtrack things. Her mother, lady, her father, which is deceased, may his soul rest in peace, because he didn't cause her death, and her mother didn't cause her death. Even though they wasn't in her life, they didn't cause her death. But the grandmother, Miss Annette. Now, Miss Annette is in big trouble. She's in big trouble because Miss Annette lied under oath. She lied to the court. When she was questioned, she said that Jarvis waited outside, I believe, in his truck. The Jarvis waited outside, and the children would go outside, right, to meet with Jarvis and see Jarvis outside. They asked, did Naziah go out there? Miss Annette said, only when Shannon is out there, right? But we found out that Jarvis actually goes inside of the house. And I'll play that video if you all, I'm sure most of y'all have seen that video, but I'll run that video again. Matter of fact, let me run it now. Because which one is it, Annette? Now, in this video that I'm about to show y'all, that many of us have already saw, you'll see, in my opinion, Miss Annette breaking her neck, coming from one side of the room to the other side of the room to confront Jarvis. And the choice of words that she said, you got to stop this in and out thing. You got to stop this in and out thing. And then she also stated, you got to be more, and I'm going to play it so we can hear for sure exactly what she said. You got to start acting more like you're part of the family. When it comes to Miss Annette, many people feel like Miss Annette is a madam. Many people feel like Miss Annette is a madam. She was selling off Naziah, as well as the other grandchildren and children. So let me grab this clip for those that haven't seen it yet. Give me a minute, y'all. Give me a minute. Let me come out of this. All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, here we go, right here. All right, here we go, y'all. For those that haven't already seen it. Now pay attention to Miss Annette. Now this is the video, this is the birthday party that they said that Jarvis came too late.
All day long, nana, mama. That's all. That's why I say when I just Okay, who down there? Here, get this to whoever's closest to my room. Tell them to take that to my room. Whoever's the closest. Take it to my room.
Huh?
Yeah, that person's heavy, Shani. You have that. That person's heavy.
I know what. You stop. You stop. You know what? You all day.
Those children don't look happy at all. The children don't look happy at all. I believe Naziah is upstairs because remember, Naziah texted Jarvis and told Jarvis that they were singing happy birthday. I believe it, but I could be wrong. So if you don't see Naziah in this picture of the birthday party, she's upstairs texting Jarvis. But pay attention to Miss Annette.
All day. She's been happy for years. She's happy for years. She had a 4-5 minute.
5 up in there.
A 4 and a 5.
1, 2, 3, go.
What I used to.
Happy birthday to you.
Come on, y'all.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Come on. Happy birthday to you. Now come on, let's jazz it up a little bit. Cause it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Just get on down. Just get on down. It's your birthday. How old are you? Come on. How old are you? Come on, say it. Come on. I'm 9 years old.
Alright, you gotta close your eyes, make a wish first, and then you blow out your candle.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
Ready to
to
blow 'em out?
you.
Ooh. Yeah.
Happy birthday to Boy Girl. How old are you? You about to get 9 years old.
Well, he's officially still 8 months.
Happy
Actually,
birthday.
by Tuesday. Don't watch the man.
He just be 90 that we got to look back pretty soon. He's gonna be 19. And we won't be saying happy birthday.
Hey, Jarvis.
He'll be
What's
out
up,
of
Clem?
town. Come on.
Daddy.
Now that's Jarvis. That's Jarvis, y'all, that came in. And you're going to see just a glance of him. But this is Jarvis.
Hey,
Happy birthday, dog.
Daddy, listen, my shoes, man.
Come on, sweetheart. Say thank you.
Thanks, man.
Y'all come on down this way.
Hey, Z, look at my
Hello. Dale, come on around a little bit. Almost up here. Where's
There's Jarvis. I know it's not too clear. I know it's just like a dark spot y'all can see, but that's Jarvis right there. Jarvis just came in. Now watch Miss Annette.
Where is that?
Okay,
Come on, birthday boy. Why don't you go over there? Let me back.
So what you do? You just come back, fly in, fly out?
She said, so what you just do, fly in and fly out. This is what Miss Annette has said to Jarvis. So what you just do, fly in and fly out.
I missed her birthday. I was trying to get there, but I thought you were supposed to be part of the family.
I thought you were supposed to be a part of the family. Let me backtrack it for y'all. I thought you were supposed to have been part of the family.
Let me back.
So what you do? You just come back, fly in, fly out? I missed her birthday. I was trying to get there, but I thought you were supposed to be part of the family. You gotta stop this.
Did y'all hear that? You gotta stop.
Get your ass up.
That right there puts Miss Annette down the rabbit hole. She lied. Now, anybody that we catch lying, they are definitely down that rabbit hole. So this is why we place Miss Annette down the rabbit hole. She lied. And we caught her in her lie. All right. Now let's move on to Shannon. All right. Shannon got caught in so many lies. Now, for me and many others, some of those text messages, I'm not going to say all of the text messages, that was allegedly between Jarvis and Naziah, some of those text messages Shannon sent. And I'm not the only one that feel like that. The majority of the people, we feel the same, that some of them text messages, a particular text message that I believe Shannon sent, posing like she was Naziah, was the text message where she asked him, how do you like your women? How do you like your girls? Skinny? That was Shannon. All right? That was Shannon. Many of us believe that some kind of physical altercation took place between Shannon and Naziah that day or night. Allegedly, Naziah didn't come home. Allegedly, she got off the bus, skipped past the house, didn't come home. We found out Shannon's own words. And just listen to Shannon's words. Shannon said, I was the last one to see her. Which one is it? If the person that's the last person to see the person before they are unalive, usually that's the person that is responsible for taking their life. And it's so much more. I'm going to have to get to the clips of Shannon. Shannon lied on the stand as well. But Shannon claims that she was the last one to see Naziah. Naziah hasn't been seen in over a year. Where is Naziah at, Shannon? Shannon allegedly took Naziah to the fight. It was a fight. Allegedly, Shannon took Naziah to that fight. The main reason why Shannon is down a rabbit hole, Shannon knew that Jarvis was sexually assaulting Naziah. When CPS questioned Shannon, what did Shannon tell CPS? No, none of that stuff happened. Jarvis didn't do none of that stuff. Shannon lied. So we got Shannon down the rabbit hole. We got Miss Annette down the rabbit hole. All right. Now we're going to make our way over to King. Everybody knows that King is full of ish. Everybody knows that King is full of ish. Remember now, King has a curfew because King was on the home monitor. He was on the box, correct? And y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but King was on the box. What time did King have to be home? What time did King have to be in the house? I believe it was 9 o'clock, right? It was 9 o'clock when King was supposed to have been in the house. He said that they got back to the shop at 8:45. He said when they got back at 8:45, they had to do what? They had to count up the money. They had to, I believe, the receipts as well. It's going to take you longer than 15 minutes to count up some money and get them receipts straight. King is down the rabbit hole. King tries to convince us that he didn't know who Naziah was. How you not know who Naziah is? When he said that Jarvis and King seen Naziah, and I believe Jarvis said, there goes my niece, right? King, when you seen who the little girl that Jarvis was saying that's his niece, you knew who she was. Why? How did King know who she was? She frequent the shop. Yes or no? She come up to the shop to clean up the shop for $20 and $25. He lied. That's 3 of them down the rabbit hole for lying, for trying to play in our face. Now we're going to move to Frank, who's the owner of the shop, and we're going to move to Kim Worthy. Now, allegedly, and let me read what the report says. Give me a few seconds, y'all. Give me a few seconds. And I will come to the chat. If anybody has a comment or a question that you need for me to get to, put it in a super chat. But I will come down there to the chat. Okay, here we go right here. All right. It says Detroit authorities deny inmates claim they conspired against him on behalf of Sean Diddy Combs. Now, they're denying it. Why wouldn't they deny it? But let's see what to say. It says court documents involving a Michigan inmate claim that local authorities plotted against him on behalf of rapper Sean Diddy Combs. However, authorities denied the claim and said the documents appeared fraudulent, even down to the notary's signature. It says CBS News Detroit found multiple affidavits that were filed in March in the Eastern District of Michigan concerning Combs. All of them were filed by a prisoner named Derek Lee Cardello Smith, who asked the court to drop his charges because of new evidence. The new evidence includes signed affidavits that he claims clear him of wrongdoing. There's more. It says the allegations date back to 2008 when Cardello Smith was arrested for criminal sexual conduct against 2 women. The court documents allege that Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy, among others, all conspired with Combs to frame Cardello Smith. They also claimed that former Detroit police officer Nicole Raboyle, who was the arresting officer in Cardello Smith's case, was bribed to make a false police report. So Kim Worthy is in the affidavit. Now, she got to go down the rabbit hole with everybody else. Now, if it comes out that his claims are false, then we'll bring her out of the rabbit hole. But right now, nobody is off limits. Nobody is off limits. When a child is involved, nobody is off limits. You know, in this country, what is it? Innocent until proven guilty. Well, when it comes to children, you're guilty until proven innocent. And that's just how it got to be, y'all. Because we witnessed all of these people fail Nazir Harris. That's why we're not taking none of them off of the table. We're not bringing none of them out of the rabbit hole until it can be proven. Now, I'll drop my link. I'll drop my link. And any of you, because I know y'all are in my bushes, any of you are more than welcome to click on my link and join me on the panel and clear yourself. We'll wait. And also, I'll give the word, but if it's anybody that has been sexually assaulted as a child, if it's anybody that has been sexually assaulted as an adult, and if you would like to come up on the panel with me and share your story, when I welcome you all to come up on the panel, please click on the blue StreamYard link to come up and share your story. We're going to do our best. We're going to sacrifice our lives. We're going to sacrifice our freedom to protect these children. Nothing more, nothing less. We are going to sacrifice our lives. We are going to sacrifice our freedom to protect all children. I don't care what race, nationality, skin complexion these children are. All children deserve to be protected. And I don't care what race, what nationality, or what color, complexion of your skin is. It's all of our duties to protect these children. So we ain't gonna let nobody off the hook. Nobody. Now we'll worry about other things that we have to work on to make the community better and make the world a better place. But we starting with the children. We starting with the children. If you know how to file petitions, if you know how to get bills started, please, whatever state you're in, please get a petition, get a bill started, whereas though we can help promote and get it passed. We don't want these pedophiles. We don't want them getting parole. If they get a sentence, we want all pedophiles, we want all sex offenders to have to do their complete sentence. That's the petition. If you know how to file a petition, please file this type of petition. If you know how to do the bills, please get these bills started. Because Jarvis was paroled. Frank, with his disgusting report card, Frank only ended up with, was it, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, y'all know my mind ain't as sharp as it used to be, but according to Toot, Frank received, was it 2 years prison time or was it 2 years probation? And the disgusting crimes that he committed got expunged off of his records. We ain't doing that no more. We ain't doing that no more. Yeah, well, they gotta register on the sex offenders list. We don't want that. We don't want these monsters to be released back into our communities, period. If you commit a crime, if you sexually assault a child, you're not fit. You're not fit to be in society. Nothing more, nothing less. So now let's look at Frank. Right? Let's look at Frank. Now I believe that, and let me go to my notes. Give me a minute. Let me go to my notes. Now this is Frank. Now Frank has different names that he go by. But let me go to my notes, y'all. Let me come to the chat. Let me talk with the chat for a few minutes, and then I'm going to go to my notes about Frank. Let's see what the chat is saying. Shari says, and Frank got charged with tampering with evidence allegedly. Frank got 2 years of probation. Exactly. 2 years probation. So he didn't even get prison time. See, that's the problem. Coy says Jarvis escaped being on the list. Where they do that at? I waited 30-something years. Don't be like me, always on mute. And thank you, Lisa, for sharing your story with us. It was 2 years probation. 2 years probation. Title 3 offender. Where Frank from? New Jersey. He looks familiar. I'm not sure where Frank is from. I believe he's Hispanic, Cuban, or Middle Eastern. I'm not sure where Frank is from. Jade says, it's sketchy that all those pedos get to work together. Exactly. Now you already know. And this is what I said. I don't care what nationality a man is. It could be a street dude. It could be a L7 dude. It could be a 9-to-5 dude. No man is going to want to be around a pedophile. Period. No man. And that's why in the very beginning, I'm saying to myself, King and the rest of them up there, they knew Jarvis's report card. They knew his report card. If you ask any man, no matter if he a street dude, if he a L7, a 9-to-5, a religious dude, go to any man that's a solid man, I promise y'all, he gonna tell y'all, ain't no pedophile coming around me. That's the man code. That's the man code. Yo, you gotta go. If most men, when they find out what's on his report card, most men gonna put hands on him. And if they don't put hands on him, they gonna get away from him. Period. The higher ups trying to normalize pedophilia. Look up MAP, Meno attracted persons. Exactly. Melanie says, I feel deep within my heart that Annette and Shannon both was in love with Butts, Head, Jarvis, and they both was jealous of Naziah and had to get rid of that baby. God doesn't sleep. I feel you, Melanie. I don't know, Miss Parker, you okay, love? Coy says, right, Shank. You so right, Shank. No man. Shai says, my fault, Mr. Shank. I was thinking about and that brother is a Title 3 offender. My apology. No, you good. Because I forgot to put him down the rabbit hole. I forgot to put the brother Eric Gamble down the rabbit hole. Y'all seen the video with Eric dancing in back of Naziah grabbing on her. Where they do that at, man? Where they do that at? I gotta remain calm, y'all. But where they do that at? What man is going to be in back of 11, 12, 13-year-old girl while she's dancing, and then they come up on her and grab her from behind? Nah. Frank employs PDF files, then allow kids working at his business. Exactly. So we already know what he was doing. Okay. He already know their MO. He's just like them. So when they was recruiting them, when they was bringing them girls, them little girls in there, Frank was getting a piece of the action. They used to beat up pedos, ish crazy these days. Come on, Tudor. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Soon as you find out his charge, he trying to tell you. Pedophiles know pedophiles. They stick together. Them men in Detroit weird as hell. Seems like 8 out of 10 are molesters. Detroit, it's looking bad for y'all. For the fellas in Detroit, it's looking bad for y'all. Where are the men at in Detroit? I gotta call y'all out, fellas. Where are the men in Detroit at? Why hasn't the men in Detroit stood up? Where are y'all at? Miss Parker probably getting some rest till tonight. Shoot, I be up till 4 a.m. with her last 3 nights. I'm like, sheesh. I don't know when she get rest because I don't. Yeah, I know she was resting, but she probably up going over some notes. Shank, you spoke about Shannon texting, pretending. Remember, I think you're right. She clearly stated how the phone be taken often from her. Exactly. And I believe Shannon said she, or was it Miss Annette? One of them, see, it's so much in the case, y'all. One of them said that they would get Naziah to text Jarvis. I can't remember which one. Karen says, I think we need to make them print sex offender list every Tuesday in the newspaper. Come on, P. Diddy. This is too far. Come on now. Hello. Hell, Jarvis told Shannon and the family welcome him with open arms, and here we are. Exactly. I see y'all. Let me skip on down here, y'all. Let me get what was sent to me about Frank. I gotta remember where it was sent to. But the rabbit hole runs deep. It runs deep. And as men and women, if it's nothing else that we fight for, if it's nothing else that we stand up for, we got to fight for our babies. We got to stand up for our babies. That's first and foremost. Babies, children, we fight for them. We stand up for them all day long. Give me a minute, y'all. I'm coming. I got to see where it was sent to. I get so much. Okay, let's come here. Let's come here. Let's see. Let's see what we got. So Frank, he's the owner of the shop. He got all these pedophiles up there. He got all these sex offenders up there working for him. Come to find out, he only got 2 years probation for a sex crime against a minor. Okay. Now, allegedly I'm not going to say his real name, but allegedly he goes by the name of Fadi. F-A-D-I. Fadi, F-A-D-I. Hatchem, H-A-C-H-E-M. Let's see what else is on here. He got aliases. He got a lot of aliases. It says Frank Hatchem, the HBIC, is the leader of the sex trafficking ring in Detroit. He owns all of those car shops that Jarvis worked at. And I believe this was from 2008. Two men were arrested in connection with illegal tire dumping in Detroit. It was published, the article was published August the 24th, 2018. And it has a picture of the Frank guy with another man. It says, Detroit police say two men, business owner Fadi Hatchem and Charles Wilson, were arrested in their ongoing crackdown on illegal dumping in the city. This pretty much wraps up our investigation with regard to this tire dumping incident, Lieutenant Rebecca McKay with Detroit Police said. It was a Fox 2 viewer who helped lead investigators to the two men. So this is just one of his charges. Tire dumping. He denied it. Let me see if y'all can see the picture. Can y'all see it? Now that's a picture of him in 2018. That's a picture of him in 2018. Here's another picture of him. Now I'm not sure when this picture was taken of him. Go somewhere else with all of that. You know, take it to your community. Y'all want to mess up a community? Go mess up your own community. Stop coming to our community, messing up our community. We already got it bad enough amongst our own selves. We already got it hard with our own people pimping on us and taking advantage of us. Then we got to worry about outsiders coming in our community and pimping on our kids, kidnapping our kids. As I said in the demonstration earlier today, sex trafficking rings, they don't discriminate. Sex trafficking rings don't discriminate on nationalities, races, or genders. This is not just a black thing. This is a human thing. And as humans, we got to put an end to this. Grandma told the judge that the baby wasn't around. Jarvis then turned around and said she lets her go clean the shop. She told on herself she is going to jail. Yes. Yes. Salute, Michelle. Yep, Shank, true. I got one more clip, and then we're going to get out of here. Miss Parker will be going live, I believe, 11:30 or 12. Not sure the exact time. Let me drop the link. Salute, Kenya. Salute, Kenya. If anybody would want to come up and tell their story, please click on the blue StreamYard link. If there's anybody that would like to come up and tell their story, please click on the blue StreamYard link. Janet says, we somehow have to get black-owned businesses back into our community. We have to. We have to get back to Black-owned businesses. We have to become those nosy neighbors that most of us hated when we was growing up. I used to hate my nosy neighbors. But now that I'm older, and now I appreciate those nosy neighbors because I'm a nosy neighbor. If I see something, I'm telling. Straight like that. So don't do nothing around Shank Rock. If you live in my neighborhood and you watching, don't do nothing around me because I'm telling. 80s Baby says, I'm that neighbor. I'm telling. Back to minding people business. I'm telling. To be honest, they all lie under oath and should be held accountable. Now, if I see you out there doing something to yourself, I'm going to probably mind my business. If I see you doing something to yourself. If it's a relationship problem with you and your man, if it's a relationship problem with you and your woman, I'm going to mind my business. But if it's anything involving a child, if I see anybody neglecting a child, if I see anything that ain't right when it's concerning a child, I'm telling. I'm telling. First, I'm going to approach you. I'm going to approach you first. And if you don't give me the answer that I'm looking for, I'm telling. Yep. Tony says, salute Shank Rock. Justice for Nasiah and the children around the world. Salute. Back in the day, the village helped to raise the babies. Exactly. Salute, Foxy. Make sure y'all go and check out Foxy to Roxy 3. She's a content creator as well. Make sure y'all go check out Foxy to Roxy 3. She's a content creator herself. She does great content. It's a video of Frank Shop somewhere tried to set it on fire, and he talks on the video. They need to bring Neighborhood Watch into Black neighborhoods. Check out his reviews because it's so many complaints that the mechanics weren't good. They were just props, in my opinion. I agree with you, Nisi. I agree with you. I said that last night on my channel. Nosy neighbors are needed. Chen says, appreciate that super chat, Chen. Chen says, we used to have watching houses when I was growing up. They are not here anymore. A child go to a watch house if they didn't feel safe. We got to get back, y'all. We got to get back because we ain't doing nothing, honestly. Us older people, we ain't doing nothing. We keep telling the younger generation, we keep telling them about how it was in our days. They don't want to hear that. They don't care about what we used to do in the 80s and the 90s. They didn't grow up in the 80s and 90s. They don't care. And that's why the young generation, that's why they don't respect us. The reason why they don't respect us, see, it's a difference. It's a difference from our elders. Our elders were active in the community. Let me ask you something. Are you active in your community? See, our elders was on our heels. Are we on these children heels? Our elders, they stood for something. We don't stand for nothing. We just get treated any kind of way. The big mamas on crack. Y'all seen Dumb Dorothy? She on crack, lip twisted. That's a crackhead. Anybody that know a crackhead, that's what crackheads do. Their lips are twisted. No more PTA meetings. We got the power. We got the power. Remember, power to the people. Let me grab one more thing, y'all, and then we're going to get out of here.
mic, you can pick it up and put it in your lap too if you like.
Okay, thank you.
Whenever ready, Mr. Makepeace.
Thank you. Could you state your name for the record?
Annette Harris.
And Ms. Harris, do you know someone or did you know someone by the name of Neziah Harris?
Yes.
And who is Neziah to you?
My granddaughter.
Appreciate that new membership, Whitney. Appreciate that new membership, Whitney.
Are you her legal guardian?
Yes, I am.
When did you become her legal guardian?
I adopted Neziah back in 2016.
And that was court work or paperwork filed and all of that to legally adopt her?
Yes, it took a process.
Oh.
Yes.
And back in January of 2024, did Neziah live with you?
Yes.
I don't want to know the specific address, but what street did you live on?
Bedford.
And is that in the city of Detroit, Wayne County?
Yes, it is.
How long had Neziah been living with you at that address on Bedford?
Oh, wow. Basically, I mean, ever since I had her. I mean,
Since 2016?
well, we moved to another house.
Okay. When did you move into the Bedford house?
Let me see. 2019, we moved in that house and then moved in the house that I am now, which is still on Bedford.
Okay. And did Neziah make those moves with you?
Yes.
And in January of 2024, at that Bedford location, who else lived there?
Just me, the kids. My other daughter lived with me at the other address. But it was just basically me and my kids and Shannon.
And who is Shannon?
My daughter,
And what's her last name?
Harris.
Now, many people want to know whether or not Neziah's mother, Lady, whether or not she's adopted or whether or not she is Miss Annette's biological child. She is Miss Annette's biological daughter. So Neziah is Miss Annette's biological granddaughter. But, you know, she just went on and had her in her care and she adopted her. But I know a lot of people was wondering whether or not Neziah's mother, Lady, was adopted by Miss Annette. No, Neziah's mother is Miss Annette's biological daughter. Salute, Mel.
And she lived with you and Neziah and the other kids at the Bedford location?
At the first Bedford location.
Okay.
Yes.
At that first Bedford location, how many other kids, in addition to Neziah, lived there?
My other two, my grandson and my other grandchildren.
Okay. So how many kids total in that house?
Six. Should have been six.
And
So according to Miss Annette, it should have been six. It was 6 children.
you and Shannon, correct?
Well,
Living there.
Shannon, she was there, but she wasn't really like there all the time.
Okay.
She would spend most majority of her time at my house, but actually Shannon had her place out in Clinton Township.
And when you were there in January of 24, how old was Neziah at that time?
January 24th, she had 13. She had her birthday in September.
And was she going to school?
Yes, she was.
What school did she attend?
J.E. Clark Preparatory Academy.
And is that also in Detroit?
Yes, it is.
Just generally, can you tell us about your morning routine with the kids, specifically Neziah, about getting them to school and things like that?
Sure. Okay, 6 a.m. That's when I get the children up. They usually get up, get dressed, prepare themselves. About 7:15, 7:20, we're basically saying prayer and we're loading up in the car. I'm dropping them off at school at 7:30. Breakfast starts at 7:30.
And I never understood why people would say you cannot let everybody pray for you. You cannot let everybody lay hands on you and pray. I never understood it. But this is a clear sign of be careful who you let lay hands on you. Be careful who you allow to pray over you. Be careful who you allow to pray with you. Be careful who you allow to pray for you. Prime example. You can't get no better than this. I'm going by her words. In the morning, before school, before they leave, they have prayer. Well, what kind of prayer was going on? See, and they say it, the devil prays too. The devil preys on our downfall. The devil prays that he can have control over our souls. Be careful who you and I allow to pray for us. Be careful who we allow to pray for us and with us.
And they like to eat breakfast at school.
And does that include Neziah? You would drop her off at J.E. Clark?
All together, yes.
Now, I want to talk about, let me ask it this way. Did you know someone by the name of Jarvis Butts?
Yes.
And do you see Mr. Butts in the courtroom today? If you need to stand up and look around.
I got no glasses on. I don't see him.
You see Jarvis right there. Come on with the BS. Come on with the BS. She see Jarvis. Come on, Miss Annette. Right, Pebbles. Acting stupid.
Do you need glasses, ma'am?
Yeah, my
Okay,
daughter has my glasses.
Okay, Judge, may I take a moment to go get her glasses?
Yes.
See this property on Craigslist for $4,300 a month? Well, it's been sitting empty for the last 28 days.
May I approach witness, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you.
And if you could just stand up and take another look around.
Okay. Yes.
Do you see Mr. Butts in the courtroom today?
And notice how before she put the glasses on, right? Notice how she was looking all around the courtroom before she put the glasses on, right? But as soon as she put the glasses on, she looked straight at Jarvis because Miss Annette seen Jarvis way before she put them glasses on. Miss Annette seen Jarvis when he came in that courtroom. Miss Annette seen Jarvis before she even went up to the witness stand. Come on with the bull-ish, Miss Annette.
Yes.
Could you
Yes.
point to him and identify a piece of clothing that he's wearing?
Green uniform with the blue mask.
For the record, the witness has identified Jarvis Butts, the defendant, in this matter.
So reflected?
And may I approach the witness again, Judge?
Yes.
I'm approaching with what's already been admitted.
Right. Let me grade his comment. Right, Foxy. She saw him when he came at the party and she didn't have no glasses on. Correct. Correct, Foxy. Salute, Miss Parker. She saw him when he came in the party, though. And she ain't had no glasses on. Come on with the bull-ish, Miss Annette.
As People's 9. And Miss Harris, do you recognize the person in that photo?
Yes,
And who is that person?
Jarvis Butts.
And is that the same person you've identified in court here today?
Yes.
And Ms. Harris, how did you know Mr. Butts back in January of 2024?
He's the father of my daughter's children.
And is that daughter Shannon Harris?
Yes.
Okay. How many kids do they have together?
5.
And would he come around your house on Bedford in January or the months leading up to January?
Whenever he did come, he would always pull up in a, so they would sit and talk or whatever, but he would very rarely come in my house.
And during that time when he would come around and sit in his car, was there any times that he would interact with Naziah that you saw?
Not that I remember, no.
Okay.
Maybe the birthday party was one of those times when he came in. Maybe. I'll let the chat and the replay gang decide on that.
Now I want to talk specifically about January 9th. You had described your morning routine with the kids. Did you follow that routine on January 9th?
Yes, I did.
And did that include dropping Naziah off at J.E. Clark 7:15 to 7:30?
Yes.
And can you tell us what she was wearing on January 9th, 2024?
Yes, she was wearing a pair of light powdered blue jeans with a light powdered blue jacket that had the black little fur around the collar. It was like a 2-piece set.
And did she have a sweater on or a shirt on or something?
She had a shirt. She wore a shirt underneath it.
And you remember, did she have any other clothes with her on the 9th when you dropped her off?
She had her little blue sweatshirt with the little hoodie. She had that with her.
And do you know how or when she got that hoodie?
I bought that hoodie for her. I guess it was in the fall sometime when I bought it. When I first, I mean, it wasn't nothing new. It was just one of her old hoodie jackets she used when she go to gym.
Okay. And in terms of, if you know, the condition of that hoodie on the 9th, was it torn, ripped, damaged in any way?
No,
Okay.
it was fairly, really, like, kind of like still new, because she took pretty good care of her things.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
May I approach, Judge?
Yes.
I'm approaching with People's Proposed Exhibit 12. Ms. Harris, do you recognize what I just handed you?
Yes,
And is that a picture of Naziah?
yes.
And do you know when that picture was taken?
The same day, January the 9th, she took this picture.
Oh, move to admit People's Proposed 12.
Any objection?
No objection.
It'll be admitted as People's Exhibit 12.
And when you dropped Naziah off at J.E. Clark, what was the routine supposed to be after school was over?
Okay, well, when school is over, the bell rings at 2:40. Naziah was due to come home. And normally when the bell rings, 2:40, 2:45, she's getting on the bus.
And was that's what she normally did on other days?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes, I'm sorry,
And
yes.
what time would she normally arrive back at home?
The Naziah would be walking in through the door maybe 3:05, no later than that.
And on January 9th, did she walk in at 3:05?
No, she did not.
And were you home when she didn't come home?
I was there for a little while, but I left out to run some errands. But no, when I got to the house, she was not there.
And at that time, did you have a conversation with someone else about her not coming home, Isaiah not coming home?
Yeah, when I picked my children up from the after-school program, I went in and my daughter said,
Objection to what her daughter said from the hearsay.
I'll rephrase the question.
Okay, sustain.
Just talking about what you saw and heard, and not asking for what anybody said, but did you talk to Shannon, your daughter?
yes, Shannon said she was not there.
All right, so she established Shannon being there at the house. All right, keep that in mind. She spoke with Shannon. Shannon said she wasn't there.
Okay. When you got home that day on the 9th, was Isaiah there?
No.
And did you eventually make the police report about her missing?
Yes, I did. Yes,
And when did you do that?
That morning when I got to school, I went up and dropped the kids off to school.
Now, according to Miss Annette, that morning, which was the next day when she got to school, that's when she made the missing report. Now, go back to Kim Worthy, and I played this on yesterday's demonstration. Kim Worthy said that it was reported that same day. And also the conversation with Mark D from 7 Miles Radio with Miss Annette's son, Florentino. Florentino said that Miss Annette filed the report on that day, which would have been January the 9th at 4:20. So is Miss Annette lying again? When did Miss Annette really file the report? Kim Worthy said that Miss Annette filed the report that same day. Miss Annette saying she filed the report the next day. Her son Florentino said she filed it the same day. What is really good with Miss Annette?
I talked with the dean and the principal, and I told them that I was on my way to the police station, and they told me that they would call the police, and the police, DPS police came there.
Now that's the next day. That's the next day. That's the next day. But Florentino and the prosecutor, Kim Worthy, said that Miss Annette did the report on that day when she, was last seen. So who's lying?
And you said DPS, is that Detroit Public Schools?
Yeah.
And did you talk to an officer at that time at the school?
Yes, I did.
And was that at J.E. Clark physically at that location?
Yes.
And you said that morning, are you talking about the morning of the 10th?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's the 10th now, but she was last seen on the 9th. She was last seen on the 9th. But on the 10th is when she reported it. But the prosecutor, Kim Worthy, and the son, Florentino, said she reported it on the 9th. That's perjury.
Was Naziah active on social media, if you know?
Well, as far as I know, she was. There were times that she was sneaking, go on it,
And we're going to stay right there. We're going to stay right there. I'm going to take some of y'all comments. Miss Parker, let us know what time you are going live. Miss Parker, let us know what time you are going live. I'm going to drop the link again. If anyone would like to come up and tell their story, if they have been sexually assaulted, if you would like to come up and tell your story, if you've been sexually assaulted as a child or as an adult, click on the blue StreamYard link and pull up and you can tell us your story. I'm going to drop your link for you, Roxy. Make sure you all subscribes to Roxy 3 channel. She's a content creator as well. Let me drop your link, Roxy. Give me a minute. Oh, come on, man. Give me a minute, y'all. All right, that's Foxy's YouTube link. No, I didn't see your comment, Juanita. Give me a minute. Let me backtrack, y'all. Give me a minute, y'all. All right. Give me a minute, y'all. Salute, Queen.
Salute. How are you?
All right,
Salute.
how are you doing? Let me put you
I'm
on.
not doing too bad. You know, this story right here really gets to my core. You know, it's hard for me to give specifics about the things I experienced as a child. I'm 47 years old, about to turn 48 years old, and I have lived with this pain of having something happen to me since I was a child, and I don't think it was just one time. And I was just telling somebody close to me how I remember. You know, my mom worked a lot, you know, and I remember me and my sister were to get in a bath by my uncle. And I remember him washing me down there and it hurt. And it hurt. And I don't remember why it hurt, but I remember him washing me and it hurt. And as a little kid, I mean, couldn't have been any older than 5, 6 years old. And I remember telling my mom that when he washed me, it hurt. And she kind of gave me a weird look. And from that point, I don't remember anything. I don't remember what happened. And I know I blocked a lot of things out. But when I hear things about, you know, Naziah, and I hear things about Ellie Carter, it triggers me. So you know, I'm seeking help. I'm going to get hypnotized. I'm going to find out what really happened, because it has affected my life in ways that I can't even explain or imagine. Like it's a lot, and I really want justice for this little girl. I want these people to rot in the hell they created for that baby, because it's not right. It's not right. It damages people. It damages people and it damages children, and I'm living proof of that. You know, I'm really trying really hard to be successful in life, but you know, you have a lot of downfalls when you deal with things like that, you know, and especially when you have these burdens that you don't know the origin of it. I mean, you know something happened, but you don't know who it was, when it was, because as a child you are able to block stuff like that out, but as an adult, and you see certain things that you've gone through, either being hyposexual, homosexual, something, whatever happens, you realize that that's not normal, so something happened to you. You know, you don't feel comfortable in certain situations, certain things come up, and it makes you feel a certain type of way, which is triggering. So therefore, you know that something has happened. So I know that what's going to happen is, you know, I'm going to find out what happened to me, but I'm here to be an advocate. I really want to advocate for exploited children. You know, this is something that's to my core, and I just can't let it go. You know, that's the only part of my story I can tell you, is that I know that I've been through it, but I don't know the origin of it. And once I figure that out, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back and tell y'all what I find out. But I'm with you. I support you. I salute you. And I mean, I'm with you. I support you, man. I mean, you doing good work. You doing really good work.
Thank you so much. What state are you out of? What city are you out of?
Right now, I'm living in San Antonio, but as a child, I grew up in like the Buffalo, New York area. Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
applaud you for just coming up, just speaking what you spoke, just giving us that.
It's hard. It's hard. It's triggering. It brings a tear to my eye. Like knowing what that little baby went through. Every time I see her picture, I'm like, that's just a baby. She's just a baby, you know. And it's heart wrenching. It's sad, you know. And I just that little girl could have been me, you know what I mean. And I know this, and it's just like I lived through it, and I've dug through the trenches, you know, getting my life together. I mean, I've gone to prison. I've done all kinds of stuff. I had dependency, drug dependencies, all kinds of stuff that it's not really normal for people that have normal lives, you know. So I know that I've been through some things, and I'm trying to get my life together and get the help that I need and own the fact that I'm a victim of some sort, you know what I mean? And that's all I can do, you know. But when I find out my whole story, you still on these kind of topics, I'll definitely come up and share it with you. Absolutely.
How do you pronounce your name? How do you pronounce your name?
But that's half of my name. It's Drea.
Drea. Okay, Drea.
Yeah. Yeah, that's half
Let
of
me
my
just
name.
let me just ask you one question.
Yes.
Mentally and spiritually, where are you at now? Would you say you're on a positive mental and spiritual level now, or are you evolving to get there?
I can't. It fluctuates, and I'm gonna be honest with you. There's sometimes I'm at a real high mental and spiritual level, and then there's other times I feel like I'm about to crash out. At this present time, I feel like I'm about to crash out, which is why I'm going to seek the help that I need because my core. I mean, I've been watching Ellie Carter. Certain things she's talking about tunnels, things like that. I mean, there's another story I could tell you. I went to this place. I was probably I was 8 years old. I know that, so probably maybe third grade, and the my mom had sent me to what they called a police academy camp, but a state trooper picked me up, and this is from the Buffalo area, and brought me all the way to Albany to where they trained the state troopers. Now, what I remembered, I was gone for 2 weeks. I told my mother I didn't need no money. I had like a week's worth or two of clothes, and that was it. I remember getting there, and there was nothing but a bunch of girls. The people that were supervising us were all men. I don't know who these men were. I don't know if they were police officers. I don't know who they were. But we were in the state police barracks. I remember getting up that morning, making my bed military style, eating in the cafeteria. It was all you could eat buffet type thing. You know, we could eat as much as we wanted. Then from that point, we went out to the yard, played some softball. Then they put us on a bus. Once we got on that bus, I remember these girls from like New York City area singing this song. From that point on, I remember nothing else of my trip. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Until coming back home and riding back home with another state trooper that brought me home. And it was for 2 weeks. I remember nothing else. But as I'm listening to Allie Carter, she's talking about tunnels and the air different in tunnel. I start to get choked up. I start to feel like I can't breathe, like almost like the anxiety is coming through. And I'm like, I feel like I've been in a tunnel. I feel like I've been through what she went through. And my sister even told my mom, like, why would you send her? She's like, I didn't know. They said it was a program for kids, this and that. You know, she was young. It was back in the early 80s. She didn't know. You know, she didn't know what she was sending her kid off to. She thought she was doing a good thing. And that's back, of course, when they targeted single parents, low income families, and they did things like that to these kids, you know, and I happen to be one of them kids. You know, and a lot of things have happened to me since I was a baby. I'm just telling you, but that's another whole story, you know. So I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out because I think it was not just that situation. Like I said, the people that were over us that were supervising, there was not one female. It was all men, and a whole busload of females. It was all girls. No little boys. And what they said it was for troubled kids. Like we were like bad kids. Like we were all ones that getting in trouble and stuff like that. So they called it police academy camp, but we didn't do no police academy, nothing. Like I said, I remember playing softball, getting on a bus. Where we went on that bus, I don't know. What we did when we got our next destination, I have no idea. And the next thing I remember is headed home in a cop car. That's all I remember. I don't remember anything else. And that's the whole truth. Even my sister said when I came back, I didn't speak for like a week. So when I came back, I was way different. Like something had happened to me. And my sister called it jump camp. And I don't know. My sister was 2 years older than me. She never went, but she definitely paid attention to me. And we talk about it to this day. And I think my mom holds a lot of guilt behind it. But like I said, she was young. She didn't know what she was doing. She thought she was doing something for her. I was the youngest out of three, so she thought she was doing something good, but it wasn't. It wasn't good. It wasn't whatever it wasn't good. It wasn't good. But I'm gonna find out what it was. I'm gonna find out.
Like I
And that's
said,
that.
once again, I applaud you. And even if I'm not speaking on this, I could be speaking on sports. Whatever I'm speaking on, if you want to join me on the panel, and if you
Sure.
want to vent, if you want to tell your story, you just say, "Hey, Shank Rock, can you drop the link so I can come up and speak a few words?" The platform is always welcoming you. You're always welcome to come up on the platform.
I
Always.
appreciate that. Much gratitude to you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I
You're welcome.
appreciate that. I'm not gonna hold up your panel. I'm sure you got other people wanting to tell their story, but I got a close friend that wants to tell a story too, and I think they're a little nervous, but they should probably tell their story because it's a little different. It's a little different than mine. But I'm gonna go ahead and drop down and see if they're gonna come up and tell their story. But it's something I think people should hear.
All right.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Appreciate
Salute
you.
to you.
Thank you.
Salute to you.
Thank you. I'll drop the link. I believe Miss Parker is going live at 12. And I wanna say for everybody to drop some prayer hands in the chat for Drea. But after seeing Miss Annette pray with them little girls, that's why I say we gotta be careful. How is it that as a grandmother, as a big mama, you prayed with Naziah? It's some sick people out here. It's some sick people that's right next to you and I. It's some sick people in our family. As you see, family can be the worstest. Once again, Drea, thank you for sharing your story with us. Appreciate you for pulling up. We got to do better. We got to do better. And this is a fight that is not going to get us the results that we need overnight. This is an ongoing fight. But if our ancestors could do it, y'all know our ancestors, when it comes time for Black History Month, that we always big up to, if they could do it, why we can't. Salute, Juju. Come on in, Juju.
Salute, Shank. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. I've been watching in the books. And salute to the chat. But this is such a real thing. And it happens every day. And it struck me when you said family, because I was maybe 5, 6 years old, and we was a close knit family. And uncles and aunts was well respected in our family. Everybody respected our uncles and our aunts. And we just go to their house, and they would always have candy for the kids. The kids loved to go there because they would always get snacks. And they was older, but my uncle would always call me in his room where he's in a rocking chair. I was little. I wasn't even 6 years old. And he would say, "Come on and sit on my lap and get your candy." I'm a kid. So I didn't think nothing of it till one of those days I sat on his lap. And he sat me on his lap and opened my legs and just started rocking. And he went from rocking to putting his hands in between my legs and start patting. And I jumped because it scared me so bad. And he said, you better not never say nothing, because you said something, they're going to say you're a liar. But I did. I ran outside, and I started telling my cousins. They was laughing at me, picking at me, and they started telling the adults. I was known as the liar in the family because he was so well respected. Everybody respected him. It was like all that never happened because he was well respected by everybody. How dare me for saying that he put his hands on me inappropriately? How dare he? And I never forget it. I never felt comfortable being around him ever again. And I was a little girl. And that was my family. So it's real. It's a real thing. And a lot of girls go silent because because of the shame. They don't want to feel embarrassed. They don't want nobody to say they are liars, so they suppress it. And it causes problems long term when you hold so much in out of fear of how you're going to be judged. Especially when you're dealing with a well-respected person. And I just wanted to share that because sometimes it be more family than strangers that do this to us. People that you know be the main ones that do it to us.
Mentally and spiritually. How are you doing mentally and spiritually?
Um, I'm dealing better than some people because I owned it. I spoke out on it. Although I had to deal with the embarrassment of being called a liar and looked down on upon as a young girl by my family as being known as a liar. But because I let it out, I told, I didn't just suppress it. Like a lot of girls do right now. They suppress it for years and years and years. And it becomes mental. It made me not really trust men. I was never blessed to have any kids, but I wouldn't want to have my kids around men because some men's can be so evil.
It's true. It's true.
Not all men, but some men could be so evil. And women too. We got some evil women out here too. As I got older and dealt with that, I was known as this liar. So of course, no one was going to believe me that it happened again. But this time it was another family member. This family member lived with me for 18 years. Once again, I called myself telling my guidance counselor at school, hoping it would really go nowhere because we had a little conversation at school with the kids saying that if you have anything that you want to get off your chest, you have a guidance counselor here to talk to. So I thought I had a guidance counselor I could just talk to tell her about what's going on in my household. And I did. And when I did, she sent me back to my to the classroom, and maybe like 2 hours later, they called me back to the room to the guidance counselor office, and the police was there, and my mom was there, and I was terrified. Get to the police station. Other family member there saying, Why, here you go starting this mess again. Why you doing this to the family? Why you doing this to your people? You know you're nothing but a liar. Now stop telling these lies. Because if you don't tell these people that you're telling a lie, they're going to take you and put you in foster care. And you know you don't want to be away from your mama. And I did not want to be away from my mama. So I told them people that I was lying, and I was not. Because I didn't want to be with strangers. By this time, I was 12. But the fear from me telling the guidance counselor kept me protected from it happening again with that individual. But they lived in my home for like another 7 years before I was free of that entity in my surrounding. Once again, another well-respected person. So it's real, people. It's real, and it happens every day. Shout out to Shank for letting me come up on this panel to share my story.
I'm sorry that you had to experience what you experienced.
I just wish more girls would tell their story and don't be scared. Deal with whatever comes with it. But you got to open that door and you got to stream to the top of your lungs. You got to let it out. You got to. You can't keep holding it because it will destroy you if you hold it. It will destroy you if you hold it. And it's easy to black out and forget it. So you got to let it out when it happens. It's this thing called when you're being traumatized. It's you put stuff in the back of your mind so you don't have to relive it, especially when you're younger. But things in your life may not play out the way they should throughout your life as you grow up. And you wonder what it is. That could be the reason. I ain't gonna say it for all people. That's a lot of the reason why there's a lot of homosexuality in this world. People being abused. And hurt. And that was my main reason why I don't trust men like that. And everybody's not bad.
I
The worst
totally
part about
understand.
this type of thing, the worst thing about this type of thing, Shank, is hurt people hurt people. So that's why people need to speak out to avoid someone else from being hurt. I'm a content creator. I've never told my story before, but you just touched me enough for me to be open to tell it. But
I want to thank you. I want to thank you, for sharing it with us. I definitely want to thank you.
you're welcome.
Sometimes I don't know, cry, scream. You know what I mean? It's like you hear the stories, and it's just like, what's wrong with people? Like, what's wrong with
Chat,
people?
please pay attention to your children. Pay attention because it's going to show. It's going to show in them when something's not right. So pay attention to the small signs because they show. Please protect your babies. And I'm gonna let somebody else get a chance to come up. I'm not gonna take over your panel a little longer, and try not to get in my feelings. But yeah, thank you again for getting on the stand on the story. Keep going. We're right here. We're right here in the bushes, in the chat. We're right here with you, Shane. Good job. Keep pushing.
I appreciate you, Juju. Thank you so much, Juju, for sharing your story. And everybody give Juju a warm welcome in the chat down there.
Salute, salute, salute.
All right, Juju. We got to do better, y'all. We got to do better. We got to do better. Men, women, we got to do better. We got to do better. We got to evolve. We got to make things right. Is it too much to ask from us to make things right? We know right from wrong. We know right from wrong. So is it too much to ask for us to do right? We got to do right. We got to do right by ourselves. We got to do right by our neighbors. We got to do right by our family members. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Ms. Parker will be going live, I believe, at 12. So make sure everybody pull back up for Ms. Parker at 12 p.m. I'm at 12 midnight. I'm sorry, y'all. That's letting me know that it's time for me to just go ahead and end the live. I will leave the chat running and you all can hang around. I appreciate you all. And remember, if you have a story that you want to tell on my next demonstration, when I drop the link, just join me on the panel. A big shout out to Drea and Juju. I really appreciate y'all courage. And whatever I can do, whatever us over here at the Rock Squad can do to make things better, you just let me know. You just let us know. Salute everybody. I'll leave the chat running and you all can hang around. Salute.